Hey there everyone, it's Chris Mack, and today I want to talk about pet first aid. And by that I'm not going to actually be talking about the first aid care itself. What I want to be talking about is a first aid kit for your pets, primarily dogs. This was a question that was posed to me after I did a video about the gear that I keep in my truck, and someone said, well, hey, what kind of gear do you have to take care of your dog? And I really hadn't looked into it a whole lot, but then I did some more research and a little bit of thought process into it. And here's what I came up with. So first and foremost, I want to go over this kit. It's by Adventure Medical Kits, and it's the Adventure Dog series. I am going to completely dissect this kit so that way you can see what is in it. It's one of the more popular ones that's on Amazon in a pretty budget price. It does come in a 2-pack whenever you get it that way. So let's start by dissecting that, and then I want to go through a few other things that I think would be great additions to your kit. I previously opened this so that way I knew it was in it before the video, but here's everything that comes in one of these packs. Take all of this out. Alright, so this is a resealable bag. It does have a list of everything that's on the back. So let's just go ahead and get started. We've got a little bit of rolled gauze here. We have a pair of tweezers. We've got some non-adherent pads, 2x3 gauze here. A pet first aid book with some of the basics. And I think there's a place in here too, where you can write down phone numbers of your vet and things like that. We have some cohesive wrap. We call this Coban whenever I'm at work, working in the ICU, but this is really good stuff. It sticks to itself. So whenever you put this over a wound, like on a leg or something like that, this wraps onto itself, and unlike an ace wrap where you have to have the little tabs, this adheres to itself. Just watch with this stuff, because whenever you wrap it and pull it tight, it can be really constrictive. So depending on how tight you go, you can actually lose some circulation down below. So just be careful whenever you're wrapping. It is something that tends to happen all the time, of wrapping way too tight with this stuff. All right, we have a triangular bandage. I'm going to call this a little cheesy for the size and everything that it is. Yeah, let's see. I'm not... All right, it's a pretty decent size, but the material itself, I think it would hold up for if you're going to roll this to tie something like that. But for a triangular bandage, let's say if a human needed this, I wouldn't really use this for like an arm sling or anything like that. Next is, just so that way, let's see, diphenhydramine, in other words, Benadryl. 2 of those, 2 antiseptic towelettes, a Purell hand sanitizing wipe, make that 2, and some triple antibiotic ointment. All right, so now we've looked at that kit. I do want to say that I think while it's a good kit, I think that it's a little anemic. It needs a few more things to it. If you have a dog that's on the smaller side, like maybe 30 pounds or under, I think you'll be okay with that kit the way it is standalone. But here are a few additions that I think should be added in. First, let's start off with You Can Never Beat Knowledge. So this is a really good book that I found, and I will have links to everything down below in the description, by the way. But this is a really good book. It's Canine Medic. It's by Eric Roth. And he was, oh, the light is really glaring on that, sorry, by Eric Roth, and he is a paramedic. And I haven't read the entire thing cover to cover, and this is a really good book, though, with a lot of knowledge. And here I'm just going to go ahead and say that whenever I was reading through it on page 4, he goes through a list of things that should be in a first aid kit for your dog. So here are a few additions that were in there that I think would be really helpful. One of them, I think you need a little bit more Curl-X than what's in there. So some additional Curl-X products would be absolutely awesome. Another thing on that list that he put is a septic powder, if I'm saying that right. So in other words, if your dogs have blood vessels that run through their claws. And if they get too far down, you get to the quick. And they can bleed from that, and you can't stop it because it's their nail. So this is more or less quick clot for your dog's nails. If they get nicked or cut, or even whenever you're trimming, you can possibly trim it down too far. That's why good nail care is really important for your dogs, because if they get too long, that quick grows. But if they're further and further down, but if you keep them trimmed appropriately, the quick does recede back in farther, so it's harder for it to become damaged. But just in case, this is something that he decided that should be on your list as well. Something else he says, tweezers and scissors and pliers, and a really good compact tool is the Gerber dime. Now, I will say that the Gerber dime overall, it's not a bad tool. I do think the scissors are a little bit to be desired, but overall I actually am starting to like this the more and more I use it. But you've got pliers, it does have scissors in here, and around here somewhere at the end, it does have a set of tweezers. So it's kind of an all-in-one tool for a lot of the tools that he recommends in the book to have on you for your dog's first aid. Another thing that I really think is a good idea is a good source of light, so that way you can see what's going on in case there's something in their fur or anything like that. So definitely Olight i3T. It's small, it's got 2 modes, and they're pretty hard to beat the snot out of, although I've destroyed one of these already. But a really good light for a really good price. Something else is pets can go through shock just like we do. So I don't think he actually mentioned this, but it's something that I feel like should be in the kit as well, is an emergency solar blanket. So that way you can keep them warm in case something happens to them as well. Another item is a tourniquet. Now, in my own personal first aid kit that I carry on me, one of the reasons why I decided to carry the tourniquet that I do is because of having dogs, and I'll link that video down below in the description for what's on my personal EDC med kit. But the Rat's tourniquet. It's a really good tourniquet. I definitely believe in these guys wholeheartedly. They're a great company, and overall, like I said, they're good for not just humans, but for your pets as well. And that's something that they stand by, being a bunch of guys who have worked military and overseas and everything like that, and dealing with canine corps, and this is part of why this tourniquet was developed the way that it was. Another thing that's a pretty budget item that you could throw in there is a chamois. I know some people think these things are a little bit weird and awkward, but you know what? When it comes to first aid, you can do all kinds of stuff with this for yourself personally and for your pets as well, even if it's just additional dressings and things like that. And if you had to, depending on the size of your dog, you could kind of make a little sling or something like that you could carry them out as well, depending on what you needed. And then last but not least, I have seemed to have misplaced one of my favorite bags of all time, but a really budget-friendly bag to put everything in is one that I'll have linked down below in the description, along with a review of that bag itself. And again, links to all this stuff will be down below in the description. Now, last but not least, for the 450 subscriber giveaway, I did say that it's going to be one for the dogs and it would kind of be a surprise. And I went ahead and used the random number picker based on the order of the comments that came in. So real quick, the winner of the giveaway is Alan Hatfield. Please get back to me so that way I can get all this out to you. And what you've won is, because these come in a 2-pack, you're getting one of these. You're getting this box of the quick clot, more or less, for the dog's claws and nails. You are getting this Rat's tourniquet. You are getting 2 packages of additional Curlex. You are getting the Gerber dime, a brand new one, because this one's mine. One of these space blankets, and a copy of this Canine Medic book. So congratulations, get back to me so that way I can get this out to you. As the rules were before, you got 48 hours to message me over on Instagram to claim your prize. All right, congratulations, and as always, it's Chris Mack.